I know this coach, and his motto is, even on his answering machine, a great day to get better. Now, looking back at his coaching career, I was talking with him and said, what helped you? How did you get out of these track kids the best out of them? What did you do? What helped them succeed? What made it? What did you do about it? Well, and he said, sometimes you gotta give them hell. You scream at them. You just kick them, not physically and literally, but you just light a fire under their butt. You just get going, my friend. Lean in. Give it your all. And sometimes when someone is like just crushed because they didn't make it, they just feel like a failure and they felt like, I blew it, then you kind of lift them up. You encourage them. You see the potential in them, and you tell them, you know what? It's just one thing. Next day, tomorrow, it's a great day to get better. Wow, how I love that. I think we need both. I think we need the affirmation, the support, and the love. We also need the challenge. We also need the fire. We need people who see the potential in us and say, my friend, you can do better than that. You can be more than that. You can reach higher. Just always reach higher than what you can grasp. Now, this both, sometimes we need both. Sometimes our scriptures say John the Baptist stood for hell, and Jesus stood for love and encouragement. Like when John the Baptist here announces Jesus is coming, in the Gospel according to Matthew, he says, you brood of vipers, you missed the point. Just shape up. You can do better. There is thrashing going on, and God will separate. There is something in you that is gonna burn, so shape up. Now, some of us have heard that in fundamentalist churches, turn or burn. And there is a way in some churches, fundamentalist too narrow, in my opinion, that try to scare people into the loving part. Not my way. Think about you as parent. Do you want to scare your kid all the time and make them be afraid of you all the time? That's not how I know Jesus, and that's not how I know God. It's the love, the unconditional love that truly matters. You know that love, when someone tells you, I love you with all my heart, and nothing you can do will ever make me love you less. Nothing you can do will ever make me love you less. You're the apple of God's eye. Nothing we do, nothing in the whole world will ever make God and Jesus love us less. Isn't that amazing? But again, it's only half of the message. It's only half of the message. When Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount, he says, well, it is told to you by the elders in the olden days, An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So knock them down, hit them harder than they hit you, so they'll stop. Jesus says there is a better way. And peace and community and true family and connection of heart and soul happens when sometimes we take the punch and love still, when we love our enemy, when we love the people who hurt us. The story goes that when Martin Luther King Jr., they protested in Chicago, they were all march, but non-violent. You remember that, non-violent. How can you love someone else? And there was a brick flying and it hit him. He walked over to that guy, white guy, whatever went on in him. And Martin Luther King Jr. told him, you know what? You're too good looking and too smart for having so much hate in you. You see the potential there? You're smart, you're good looking, you have potential, you can do better. That's the loving, that's the lifting up. That's what we are about. And that's in the best sense what religion is about. Now, some of us got religion shoved down our throats. Didn't taste so well. Didn't come so well, did it? The religion in the truest sense, in the deepest meaning, the origin of the word means you're tied together like ligament, religion, ligament. You're connecting to the source of life. You're connected. Think of the umbilical cord that connects the baby to the mother. That's what religion does. The purpose of religion, the purpose of churches, to link us to our source, to the source of life, to the Spirit of God. And don't we all need some linking? Don't we all need some connection, something that stabilizes us, something that nurtures our souls? Otherwise, we're just like tumbleweed, just blown by the wind without roots. But being rooted, deeply rooted in God, that gives a sense of purpose, of direction, of groundedness. So Martin Luther, that's the other Martin Luther, says the purpose of church and of a good friend overall is comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable, those who are too comfortable. So you see someone with a broken heart, someone who lost the love of their life, someone who is just down. Our responsibility is to be with them. And just like this fellow here told us, give them a hug, give them a hug, and be with them in their pain. But for those who are leaning back and are too comfortable, you know, the couch potatoes, what do you do with them? Well, they need some fire. You light the fire, you get them moving. And we all need some of that, don't we? Especially when we know. What do we know? Well, we know in some way the world is on fire, my friends. It's on fire. It used to be climate change. Then it was climate crisis. Well, it is climate emergency. The house is on fire. Now, you may wonder, what the heck can I do about these big problems? And they are big, they are huge. What can I do? Well, let's say the Amazon. It has been called the lungs of the earth. We breathe because the lungs of the earth, the Amazons, there's the rainforest and provides for all of us. Well, what's happening? Trees are cut down to make room for more cattle, for beef, and for the skins. And for this luxury SUV, the Escalade, for example, you need about 10 cowhides to get all the leather in one of these huge SUVs in. Now, you see the connection. If you may not drive this huge luxury SUV with all the leather in it, you need less cowhides. You need less cowhides, you need to cut less trees down. You keep the lungs of the earth a little bit better. So it's a connection. What we do here locally makes a difference globally. I feel like the earth has this COPD or emphysema. It's kind of, we have a harder time to breathe. So what are we going to do about it? Small things. Then they can make a difference. So, Peggy Peeler, she was here to do the children's message today. Well, it happened she cannot do it. But one of her pieces of the children's message was, what can I do? Well, Meatless Monday, eating just a little bit more meat. Now, there are farmers out there, their livelihood is raising beef cattle. Not against them, it's okay. But a little bit less of that makes a difference. It's one of the reasons why I became a vegetarian. Now, I'm not asking you to become all vegetarian. It is because I don't need all of that. I'm happy, healthy, without all the meat. I'm good, I don't need it. I admire that fellow church member. We had this banquet set out. We had brownies and cookies and chocolate muffins. And he looked at it and he said, I don't need it. It's okay not to need it. I don't need it. But sometimes it's hard because I'm craving. I want it. But I don't need it. So where and how, when you want something very, very much, you allow the message in, I don't need that right now. I'm okay without it. Small step. Small step. And each and every one of us can do small steps, can we not? There's this German saying, when many little people take many small steps in many places around the globe, they will change the face of the earth. Every change started with a few little people doing some things and more people being connected and making a difference. Father Brown, anyone knows that series? Father Brown. Yes, someone knows Father Brown. It's this British series. It's based on, it's just funny. So Father Brown is based on books by G.K. Chesterton. And G.K. Chesterton, he has this truly deep wisdom. Christianity has not been tried seriously and has been found wanting. The problem is that it has never truly and most deeply been tried and practiced fully, because that makes the difference. So today, do you feel a little bit down, crushed? You need some assurance of God's love, where Jesus says, I love you, you're mine, you belong to me. Nothing can ever change that love. Or are you a little bit too comfortable in your life and on your sofa and you think like, oh my gosh, you need a little bit more fire in you. The fire that you can do things. Your things matter what you do. Because many bad things happen because good people do not do enough. Bad things happen because not enough people stand up and do it better. So are you one of those complainers on the sidelines of life and think of, oh, complain, complain? Or do you step up, lean in, and make a difference?